What's up, garden nerds? Today we're gonna nerd out over bananas. I'm gonna give you 5 tips to successfully grow bananas. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. There's a lot more videos just like it to come. Come on, let's go. Tip number 1 for successfully growing bananas. Do not overwater them. People think because they're tropical and they're bananas that you have to water the crap out of your bananas. You don't. A mistake that I see a lot of people make when they initially plant their banana is they just soak it. Soak it, soak it, soak it every day. You do not want to do that. You want to keep it moist, but you don't want to soak it. You don't want standing water on the root system. What that means is you don't want water constantly sitting there. If you go out and water it and you come back 2 hours later and the water's still sitting there, you've watered it too much or your soil is not draining enough, so you need to fix it. A lot of times what the leaves do during the day when it's hot, 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 is they kind of droop. And what they do is they're sending water from the leaves down to the ground to support the roots during the day when it's hot and when they need water. And so what a lot of people do is they go out in the middle of the day and they see the leaves drooping a little bit, and so they soak it. And then they come out 2 hours later, they see the leaves still drooping, and then they soak it. And that is not good. It's gonna make the roots rot, and your whole banana is just gonna rot out and it's gonna die. So don't be alarmed if the leaves droop a little bit during the hottest part of the day, during the hottest part of the summer. Wait until evening when the sun goes down, come out, and you'll see the leaves have kind of perked up a little bit. Tip number 1, don't water too much. Tip number 2 for successfully growing bananas, plant it in a place where it's going to be warm, especially in the winter. So with this specific banana tree, I have it on a south-facing wall. What that means is I'm standing right here, I am facing this way, I am facing south. So that means this is a south-facing wall. And why did I do that? Because in the winter, the sun shifts this way. And so it's constantly shining right here against this brick wall, against this banana. So when it's super cold, which bananas do not like the cold, when it's super cold, it at least has that sun shining on it during the day, and during the night, all the sun that shined on the brick wall's now hot, and it's helping to keep the banana tree warm. Worry more about keeping it warm and not worry so much about it being too hot. Bananas like the heat. Bananas can take the sun for the most part once they're established, but during the winter, they do not like the cold. So plant them in a place where they're gonna get lots of sun and stay warm during the winter. Another benefit to planting them somewhere where they're gonna be warm, which most of the time they're gonna be warm next to a wall or next to a house, is if they're close up by a structure, then the wind, you can see it's kind of windy right now, the wind won't get to the leaves and shred them up. So banana leaves look the best when they're not shredded up. When they're nice and full, have no cuts in them, that's when they look the best, that's when they look the most tropical to me. So if you plant them in a place next to your house or next to a wall, they're gonna stay warm, which is essential, and they're gonna look a lot better. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 for successfully growing bananas. Do not let too many pups or too many trees grow. What bananas do is they constantly send out new shoots or new pups, because as soon as this stalk right here produces bananas, which you can see it's producing bananas, as soon as it produces bananas, this stalk is gonna die and it's gonna be no good. So there's gonna be new pups coming up that are gonna produce the next round of bananas. It will send up as many pups as you allow it to, and you don't want that. Why do you not want that? Because if you allow it to send up too many pups, then all the energy is going into growing new pups and not going into growing these bananas. So my rule of thumb, people may have a different number, but my rule of thumb is I never allow more than 3 or 4 stalks to grow at one time. If there gets to be too many, you can just cut out that pup and take it and plant it somewhere else, and bam, you have a new banana tree. But don't allow there to be too many pups, or else you're not gonna have awesome, big, juicy tasting bananas. So that is tip number 3 for successfully growing bananas. Tip number 4 for successfully growing bananas. When bananas start to grow, like they are right here, it will continually put out new bananas. This banana flower will get bigger and bigger and bigger. It will drop lower and lower and lower, and you can see what happens. A little flap opens, bananas come out. Another little flap opens, there's bananas. Then this flap will open, bananas, flat bananas, and it will keep going. What I like to do is once there's a few rows of bananas, which probably will be right here or right here, I'm gonna cut the flower off. I'm just gonna cut it. Why do I do that? Because if I allow too many bananas to grow here, then again, the plant is not gonna have enough energy to put into growing these bananas nice and big. This is a smaller variety of bananas. I don't know what the variety is. It's an unknown variety, but it's never grown huge bananas. So to help the bananas get a little bit bigger, I cut it. That stops the tree from putting so much energy into all these other bananas, and it puts all the energy into these bananas. These bananas can grow good, big, and get ripe. So that is tip number 4 for successfully growing bananas. Cut that banana flower, cut it off. Tip number 5, and the last tip for successfully growing bananas is don't stress. People stress out so much about bananas. In the winter, they look horrible. The leaves get fried by the cold. They don't look good. You think you killed your banana. Sometimes when you first plant your banana, it loses all the leaves and you think, oh no, I've killed my banana. Bananas are actually very resilient. They're actually not that hard to grow as long as you just kind of chill, don't stress, don't overwater them, and let them do their thing. After winter, when those leaves are dead, you cut them off, and guess what? As soon as it starts to warm up, you're gonna see new leaves coming out. It will be okay. You can grow bananas. It is not that hard. Follow those 5 simple steps that we just went over, and you will have bananas in no time, just like this. All right, guys, for a little bonus at the end, I'm gonna show you all the bananas that I currently have growing in my yard. Let's take a look. Okay, so this is the banana that we've been talking about. This is an unknown variety. It doesn't get that tall. It only gets about 6 feet tall, as you can see, and it produces bananas that are kind of small. They'll get like double this size when they're fully mature, but they don't get that big. Okay, and these bananas right here are the Cardaba bananas. They get pretty much full sun all day long. And I deep water them every so often, but honestly, they just get watered because they're here in the lawn. They get watered by the sprinklers, and they seem to do just fine. This variety is a little taller than the first variety. I think this is about as tall as they get. I have not had bananas off of this one yet. This variety right here is the ice cream banana, or the blue Java. This one is a younger banana. It's gonna get probably about double this size. It's gonna get tall. It's a popular variety because the bananas are a little bit blue, hence the name Blue Java, and they taste supposedly like ice cream, hence the nickname Ice Cream Banana. So I'm excited for this variety. I have not had the bananas yet, but so far it's been very maintenance free. This one gets watered by the lawn as well, and it seems to do just fine. And here's a variety that I forget which variety it is. But this one seems to be growing very well. It struggled a little bit at first because it's on this north-facing wall. So in the winter, it doesn't get sun. And even in the summer when it was smaller, it didn't get full direct sun. Bananas like sun. Guys, don't be afraid to plant them in the sun. They like sun. And so it took it a while to grow, but once it reached the sun, it kind of took off. So I'm hoping to get bananas from this one. It's growing and it's nice and thick. So I'm thinking it's gonna get pretty tall because the stalk is nice and thick. And again, this one doesn't get any direct water. It's right here by the lime tree and by the mango tree, which do get watered frequently. But so it pulls water from there, but it just kind of feeds off of that water. I don't water it directly. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and down below in the comments, tell me what things you want to talk about. I only talk about and make videos about things that I grow in my own backyard, and so I have the experience. I've killed a lot of things. I failed at a lot of things. So I have that experience, and I can help you so that you don't kill those things and so that you can be successful in growing the things you want to grow. So comment below, tell me what you want to grow, tell me what videos you want to see, and I will make those videos with Oliver by my side.